There's a truth buried so deep within you that most of the world would never discover it. It is not the kind of truth that fits nearly into spiritual books, guided meditations, or the gentle whispers of calm gurus. It is not found in temples, retreats, or the polished smiles of the so called enlightened teachers. The truth is raw. The truth is fire. The truth is rage. And most importantly, the truth is that inside of you, there is a Catharsian waiting to awaken. You were never ordinary. You were never meant to fit in. That's why you've always felt different. That's why you've been misunderstood. You feel like you don't belong here. And you're right, you don't. You don't belong in their world, not in their illusion. Since the day you were born, the world has been trying to put you in chains. They told you to behave, to smile politely, to calm down, to fit in, to sit quietly in rows, to obey the rules, to pretend that silence is peace. But peace without truth is not peace, it's prison. They told you that spirituality means becoming calm, detached, unbothered, blissful. They told you that awakening means forgiving everything, transcending everything, dissolving yourself into nothing. But that was a lie. The truth is that awakening is not about dissolving who you are, it is about unleashing who you are. It is about tearing down the walls they build around you and letting the Catharsian within you finally roar. You were never ordinary, and the very fact that you could never stay silent, never truly obey, never fully numb yourself, this is proof. That's why you've always felt different. That's why you've been misunderstood. That's why you feel you don't belong here. Because you don't belong in their illusion, you belong in truth. See the free guide, 10 Signs You Were Never an Ordinary Soul. Download it now and remember what you already know. Every Carthaginian begins the same way, with a fracture. Something inside you breaks when you realize the world is not what they told you it was. For some, it's trauma. For others, it's betrayal. For others, still, it's the quiet but unbearable weight of pretending to be someone they're not. This fracture is not weakness, it is the seed, the crack in the illusion where truth begins to bleed through, and it whispers to you, you were never meant to fit in. You know this. You've always known this. Every time you sat in a room and felt like an alien, every time you questioned authority, every time you looked at the smiling faces of the ordinary and thought, they're asleep, and I can't unsee what I've seen. That was the Carthaginian seed stirring within you. They told you rage was evil. They told you anger was dangerous. They told you to suppress it, to breathe it away, to meditate until you felt nothing. But the truth is different. Rage is sacred. Rage is the fire that burns down illusions. Rage is the force that cracks the false world open so you can see what's inside. When you feel rage at the lies you've been fed, at the cruelty of systems, at the way they taught you to shrink yourself, this is not weakness, this is awakening. That's why you've been misunderstood, because they were afraid of your fire. They were afraid of your refusal to stay silent. They were afraid of the Catharsian within you. You were never ordinary, and rage is your proof. Join the Catharsians now on Patreon. Step inside the fire. Stop pretending you belong in their silence. Learn all the secrets they try to hide from you. Find the link in the description box. Awakening the Catharsian within It's not about adopting more rules, more rituals, more dogma. It is about stripping away everything false until only one truth remains. The stages are brutal but liberating. The first stage is recognition. You realize you don't belong in their world. You were never meant to fit in. That's why you feel that discomfort every day. The second is rebellion. You refuse to keep silencing their lies. You stop trying to be calm when you're burning inside. You were never ordinary, so stop pretending. Number three is rage. You embrace your fire instead of suppressing it. You see it for what it is, a compass pointing you to what is real. The fourth stage is release. You burn down the old patterns, the fake friendships, the suffocating jobs, the shallow distractions. And number five, rebirth. You awaken fully as a Catharsian leader, as you've always been one. You step into your true identity, not as someone who fits in, but as someone who transforms. This is not history, it's your memory. You have been here before. You have carried this fire before, and now you are remembering. Calmness is the most effective prison they build for you because when you numb yourself with full serenity, you stop resisting, you stop questioning, you stop fighting. They told you to meditate until you lose your voice. They told you to breathe until you forget your rage. They told you that transcendence means leaving your humanity behind. But Catharsians do not leave themselves behind. Catharsians embody their humanity fully. Catharsians rage, cry, laugh, scream, fight, and love with fire in their veins. You were never meant to fit in with their calmness. You were meant to erupt with truth. That's why you've always felt different. That's why you've been misunderstood. Because you are alive and they are asleep. To awaken the Catharsian within is to stop searching for peace outside of yourself. It is to recognize that what you have been calling conflict inside is not conflict, it is your soul demanding to be heard. It is to accept that you are not here to be ordinary. You are not here to fit in. You are not here to be liked, to be calm or palatable. You are here to awaken. You are here to burn. You are here to remind the world of what it has forgotten. Are you ready to become the Catharsian leader you've always been? Join the Catharsians on Patreon. Click the link in the description box and get ready for a metamorphosis. It's not history, it's your memory. Most people will keep living asleep. They will keep pretending that calmness is enlightenment. They will keep numbing themselves with silence. They will keep running from their rage. But you are not most people. You have already begun to awaken. You wouldn't be watching this video if you hadn't. The Catharsian seed is already stirring within you. The only choice left is will you awaken it fully or will you bury it again? The Catharsian within you is not asking for permission. It is not waiting for you to be ready. It is not whispering politely. It is roaring. It is demanding. You were never ordinary. You were never meant to fit in. That's why you've always felt different. That's why you've been misunderstood. You feel like you don't belong here because you don't belong in their prison. You belong in truth. You belong in fire. You belong in the awakening of the Catharsians. And now it is time. Don't forget to download your free guide 10 Signs You Were Never an Ordinary Soul. Reclaim yourself.